Hi, this is Dana. Welcome on my channel where I speak about spiritual warfare. Um, this video basically is referring to the previous video because I only now, like 10 hours later after I published the previous video, um, only now actually God revealed to me what He wanted from me in that video. But that video, I essentially just did it because he said tell the story of that portion of time, the beginning, and I didn't know what exactly he wants me to tell from that. And only now, actually, after 10 hours later, God has shown me that what he wanted me to talk about was about gifts, because as I understand, there are many people who, just like me then, don't know about gifts. Many people who have gifts. Everyone has gifts. This is why I find stupid all these people who go ahead and sell themselves to Satan to gain power, because everybody has gifts, from God, but they are activated only when you become aware of this and when you accept to work with your gifts, you know specifically, so darkness cannot take advantage of your gifts. uh, so God wanted me to talk about it. It seems he shows me now, actually Jesus showed me, because I told you I work more with Jesus. I work with God as well, but God is very mysterious. He only tells me what he wants to, when he wants to. He's very strict with the rules and stuff. Jesus talks more to me, and he tells me more, and he helps me more. He is my guardian in divine realm, and so he helps me more. He is my guide, my spiritual guide, and my guardian. Anyhow, the point is, only now, 10 hours later, I understand that God wanted me to talk about gifts and how you discover your gifts, and God wanted me to tell the story of how I discovered my gifts. And this is also important, so you will understand how God works. You see, he didn't tell me what he wants. This is very important, because throughout my spiritual fighting, God has shown me. I was very puzzled. I was like, all these people have studied esoteric studies, science so much, and they have so much knowledge. How come they cannot do exorcism, for example, or they cannot do this or that? And God has shown me that they have been misled through they have been misled through fake knowledge. And God said, this is why I didn't let you go study with them, because they would have destroyed you by now, but in your innocence, you opened up to me, and you had a very honest, pure dialogue with me, so I could teach you better than if you would have gone to this whatever groups, classes, seminars, and whatever other things they do, where they make claims on you. They attach entities to your aura. They claim you and your gifts, and instead of teaching you how to work with them, they block those gifts, so you will not become stronger or higher ranking than them, and then they sell contracts on you to make sure that you don't get to succeed. So the point is, God said to me, only tell the story of, and I was like, what to tell about? That was a mess, that was the most horrible time of my life, because I thought God turned against me, so I was like, what is going on? I was the most horrible time of my life, so what to tell from that? What is there to learn from this? And only now Jesus has shown me that what God wanted was, so people will start questioning their gifts, start learning about their gifts, because everybody has gifts. But until you accept, so what happened was, as I said in the previous video, God has said, you need to learn, you must learn how to fight, because they want to steal your gifts. They want your gifts. And I was like, what the fuck kind of gifts he talks about? I was thinking in 3D terms. I was thinking in something material, and I was like, I have no gifts. I don't know what he talks about. I just succeeded to pay, the mortgage on my house. What gifts he wants? So I I couldn't understand what he wanted, and as I told the story, only after I fought with Jesus for a few months, and I gained control back on the situation, and I succeeded to come back into my house, and to finally, after a few months of literally sleeping in my car away from my house, because I couldn't come close to it, you know. So after I gained control over the situation, and I gained back my self confidence, you know and I came back home, and I started working with my gifts. God came, so I made peace with God. He came back and he taught me. He showed me, this is a gift, and then he showed me. And then actually, I had a dialogue with God, and I said, why they cannot do this? And God said, because they don't talk to me. Anyhow, um, it's a matter of, it was for me as well, but for most people, I strongly believe this, it's a matter of being um, misdirected by church. I really blame much of it on church, honestly. Because in my case, I did not go to any kind of secret societies, any kind of groups, or any kind of seminars. I was avoiding those on purpose, actually, because also my priest told me to avoid them. And But the problem is that the church conceals all of these gifts and spirituality and spiritual fighting. They somehow took monopoly on this, and they only do what they want, because they themselves work with the matrix, and they have clear deal with the matrix, what they are allowed to show to people and what not, and most of them show nothing to people. you know like I said in the previous video, when I went to the monastery nearby and asked a priest, what is this, what is happening, and so on, his first reaction was, he explained to me, so that was already a big step ahead, that he said, this is a surprise attack, these are fallen angels. Because I was so shocked, I was like, why is God allowing this? Because that's a betrayal. Why he allows this? I mean, I couldn't understand why all of the sudden this was possible. So far I said, God was in my house always with me present, and every time when I would smudge my house, I could see the demons outside of the house taking bows to God and so on during my prayers. So how come all of the sudden this thing shifted, and they have so much power and so much? And he explained to me, these are fallen angels, these are individuals who betrayed God, and uh, the astral rule is for them not to touch you because you're innocent. But fallen angels don't care for God's point of view. They don't care for astral rules. They just go against God. So because you're with God, they go against you. So it's fallen angels do exactly the opposite of what astral rules are, and but his first so he explained this to me, so that was still good. But his first instinct was, when I said, okay, now I understand, now what is there to do, how I deal with this, because I don't understand how to switch back, to gain back total control over this. And you guys, it was later on when I gained back my composure and learned about it. It was not that big of a deal, right? They did a few energy implants on me during my dream state, of fear, of panic, of some other stupid stuff. And they did black magic and spells and hypnosis. This is what they did, you know, uh, in order to take. But it was enough that, that I lost control, and I got all of the sudden this shift. And they did a judgment. This is what the priest said, the neighborhood gang stalking group, they did a judgment, on me, of, I don't know what they invoked, stupid reasons, in order to take power over me. But his first reaction, the priest's reaction, was, God will give you this wreath, this thing that you put on your head. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Wreath in heaven. This was a very big insult to me. And I asked Jesus, I said, does God want this for me? And Jesus said, yes. Oh my God. So then I thought God betrayed me clearly if he wants me to be this victim, because, all saints are martyrs, right? And I was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. What do you mean? So I was so upset with God because of this specifically. As I said, no, he betrayed me. How would you want me to be this martyr person? I fought together with you. You taught me to fight by claiming justice, judgment, and punishment. You taught me to fight by money. So for months we already fighting. We were building a center of making justice in Astral, and all of the sudden you want me to be a martyr? I was like, fuck no, I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna win this. And I was really, this is the thing which actually hurt me the most about the whole thing. Later on, Jesus showed me, you must be more careful what kind of questions you ask in divination, especially when you're in a tense situation, because what I meant to tell you is that God, of course, wants to give you wrath things, this thing in heaven, but he doesn't want you to be a martyr. But what he means is that you do deserve one. He wants you to fight. He doesn't mean that he wants you, it doesn't mean that he wants you to just sit idle and accept this wrath and stay as a martyr. But he does want you to have the wrath because you deserve it and you will win it. That was the point. But the church priest, basically he said, oh, don't worry about it, just sit, go back home, just sit and wait, and you have to find a man and get married. That was his first idea. And I was like, I'm not going to marry anyone, I'm a mess now. And I'm not in a relationship. I don't know anyone at this point in time, and I'm not even interested in that. I want to fight this and clarify this. And then I asked him, he didn't give me any advice on how to fight demons. He said, well, if you want to fight this, you must go to talk to a bioenergetician. And I told the story about bioenergeticians in previous videos, where I went to see those bioenergeticians. At this point, I asked Jesus, I said, God said always not to go to these bioenergeticians. Now, what do I do? Do I go or I don't go? Because I don't understand anymore what you people want. And he said, go. So I went to two bioenergeticians, and one of them, I explained in the video about Kundalini meditation. He actually was exactly the one. Jesus told me to which bioenergetician to go. He said, go to this one. So I went there, and Jesus showed me at the end of all the discussions I had with this individual that Jesus took me to that one, because that was the one who made the demonic attachment at me, and the energy implants, and also the hypnosis. He worked with a gang stalking group in my neighborhood to create that attack at me. But Jesus didn't tell me. He just said, go to him. Just go to him. And I couldn't understand. When I got into his office, he was so defensive. He was almost running from me. Probably he thought I'm going to confront him or something. But I had no clue. Jesus didn't tell me from the beginning. He just said, go to him. And I went to him and I explained, look, this is happening to me. I don't understand how I deal with this. What is going on? So when he saw I don't know, that I didn't come to confront him, and that I actually don't know exactly how that happened, then he calmed down, and I told you what he said. Oh, this is very dangerous. What is going on? You're to be blamed. These are demons which are attacking you. And I said, how come they're attacking me? They said, well, you have a Kundalini rise. I didn't even know what Kundalini means. And I said, what is this? I thought it's some sort of, disease or something. And he said, this is very dangerous. We must stop this Kundalini rise. So you must have sex very fast. You must find a man and have sex. And by the way, I can help you with this. And I was, what the fuck is going on? What is everybody now? I'm in the middle of a spiritual attack, and now everybody talks to me about finding a man and having sex. This is crazy. And so I found it actually lacking any kind of empathy, the way he dealt with it. Like, I'm coming to you in a very dramatic state of mind, very shocked of what is going on, and you just blunt out this thing. So to me was like, and I explained in the Kundalini meditation. I told him, I said, no, excuse me, I don't know this esoteric thing and this stuff, and about astral knowledge and stuff like this. But there is no way in hell where a demon will dictate to me when to have sex. Excuse me, this cannot be right. I might be losing my mind in this moment with these attacks, but I still have enough brain in my head to understand that this cannot be okay. This cannot be what God wants in general for humans. And most clearly, God didn't create women in order to just have randomly sex to get rid of demons. I don't believe this is right. I don't think this can be done. And I think, as I told him as well, I think he said, this is your problem. This is why demons attack you, because you think sex is a sin. And I said, no, I don't think it's a sin. I just think God created this as a union between man and woman, in mind, body, and soul, in purity, not with demons attached to them. I think this is stupid, and I don't think this is how it should be done. And I'm not doing this, you know. And I said, I will find a way. And he said, fine, then how will you get rid of this? They said, I don't know. I don't know. I fucking don't know. But this is not the way for me. This is clearly not the way for me. And I will seek a different way. So he essentially told me to get out, basically. He said, just then go. You prove your way if you think you're better. And so I went, I left, I was shocked and traumatized even more after that meeting. And I cried my way back home. And I asked Jesus, am I wrong? Is this man right? What the hell is happening to me? So I was sent by a priest to bioenergeticians for teaching me to do this stuff, right? And I was like, I was really, really depressed and scared. I was like, the whole world is closing up on me. What the fuck is going on? I didn't do anything. Why is this happening? But the priest didn't give me any single advice on how to fight against what was going on. He didn't tell me anything how to fight this. And I went to many churches, to many monasteries. Nobody wanted to tell me how. As I told you, I turned around to Jesus and I asked him to teach me. I said, I want to win. I was so upset. I said, I want to win this. I want to be victorious. I want to win this. You teach me how to do. And I want to teach a lesson, everyone and God included. So they will know that I'm not a martyr, I'm not victim, and I don't freaking care about this wrath thing. I am a winner and I did nothing wrong. And this is something that I can fight if you teach me how. So Jesus taught me how to fight, because there were constant attacks. Like every couple of minutes, I would get demonic attacks, which were really, really powerful. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't. I mean, I don't know if anyone that listens have been through this kind of attack, but you literally feel like you're gonna black out and lose your entire pain. You find all of the sudden there's huge darkness which overwhelms your entire strength body, and you feel like fainting or something like this. So it's very physically, I mean, we're not talking about mentally and stuff. So the priest didn't tell me anything, although I was going there daily at that church thing. And Jesus taught me how to fight. So later on, um, I went back to this monastery. The priest met me, and he asked me, how do you fight these attacks? And I explained to him what I do, what Jesus said. And he said, yes, indeed, this is how you find demonic attack. But I was looking at him and I was thinking to my mind, but why didn't you teach me? Why didn't you tell me how I fight demonic attack? When I came to you and I was crying and asking for help, you told me to go to a bioenergetician who told me to just have random sex with him. So um, you see, that's the point. To me, the church is the most guilty. And then later, when I the next day when I came to see the same priest, he actually said, I told the story in another video where I said, he said, I talked with these people who are attacking you. They want you to withdraw your resignation from your workplace. They want you to withdraw the formal complaint which you went to make at the Intel agency. And in exchange for that, they will, and also they want you to accept to go to a certain doctor, which will give you, how you call this, diagnosis of schizophrenia. And in exchange for all of this, they will give you pension, early pension, so you will don't have to go to work, but you will receive all this money, and so on. And so he was advocate for them, because he was trying to force me to cover up the entire thing what they did, this attack at me. And I said, no, you're siding with them. How come you advocate for them, first of all? And second of all, why you talk to them? Are you friends with them or something? Why are you talking to them? Since when are you talking to them? So you know who are the individuals who did this to me. Why don't you make them nullify all this witchcraft which was done at me? So he actually insisted very much. He said, you must do this, because they said they will close all doors in Romania for you. You will never find a work in Romania. And said, I don't care. They just told me that they made claims over people through workplace. So why the fuck would I want to get another workplace? So I will recreate this. So he was like, yeah, but how will you live? How will you have money? You have such a good salary. How can you give up this? So, and I could see him, how his eyes was changing, talking about the possibility of me getting all those money, which now basically were a pension, from my normal income, not some sort of reward or different money or some sort of deal, just normal pension. And we were in the church when we were talking about this, and I said, I don't care. You don't understand. And I said to him, you don't understand me well. I really don't care. You don't understand. Please tell them, I can die any second. I don't care. For me, the only reason I'm alive, is to make justice for me. I will fucking make justice for me. And I will prove everything that was done. And so this is the only reason why I live. And please please tell them that there will come a day when they will pray to God to kill me, to be dead, because I will fight so hard, and I will freaking learn all there is to learn about this, until I make them pay, each and every single one of them. I will make justice for me. And they said, I don't care if I die. And he says to me, well, who do you want to help you in this? He was puzzled. He was shocked. The priest was shocked. And he said, who do you want to help you in this? And I said, God. I want God to help me in this. So he was looking at me like I was completely crazy. Honestly, like I was completely crazy, And I told him, I said, we're in front of the altar. We are in church in front of the altar. Do you mean to tell me, as a priest, that you don't believe God will help me in this, when you know I am innocent? You know who did and what kind of witchcraft and spiritual attacks they did on me. So do you mean to tell me that God will not help me? So he didn't answer that. But this is my point. People don't tend to go and look at their gifts, and of their spiritual existence. We all have a spiritual existence, but we are just not aware of it, because the church is concealing it to us, and they are not directing us to do introspection and to work with our spiritual gifts and with God. And most clearly, they don't teach us how to do the spiritual fighting, which in my view, this should be the purpose of the church. This is why you have a home and food on your table paid by the public. So you will teach us this. If you don't teach us this and you just divert us, from the spiritual purpose with which we came here for, then you want to limit us to the 3D perception. So we will never succeed in achieving our purpose. So we will never activate our gifts. So we would always live blinded, So I think this is what God wanted, so people will understand that, although now I speak about spiritual fighting in these terms, it wasn't always like this for me. And I learned about my gifts very late, after a surprise attack, and nobody wanted to help me learn about my gifts. Only after I did spiritual fighting enough with Jesus, and I gained back control over how to handle this, and I returned to my home, only then God came and started activating different other gifts for me, telling me how to work with them, and so on. And although many of us have gifts, and while you have gifts, they have an impact on your energy and on how you live your life, but they're not fully activated to the full power. Okay, and this is because of a protection, because you don't know, you don't understand, you don't accept the idea. Like I told you, when God said, they want your gifts, I was like, let them have that, let them take them, I don't care, whatever gifts, let them take them, just make them stop. And so as long as I had this attitude, God couldn't come and activate gifts for me. When I started spiritual fighting, and I won my first battles, and I won basically back the confidence to, and I transmuted and cut off some of these attachments. And this happened after, as I said in the Kundalini meditation, after I did enough spiritual fighting in such a way so that bioenergetician, which created that demonic attachment on me, was forced that he took that demon away from me. So only afterwards I was able to come back to my house, because that was a very strong demonic attachment which he created on me, and within my house. I don't know why it had more power. I don't anyhow, but only after I did the spiritual fighting and I came back home, God started activating you. So the point being made is that you should care about your gifts. You should seek to learn about your gifts, because as you do that, questioning that and trying to learn about it, God will activate those for you. And I really hope that all who listen to this will start doing it, because it's very traumatic. So you will learn about this while you're doing spiritual fighting, because of some stupid idiots doing surprise attack on you, and because of a church which is turning against you and doesn't want to teach you how to do it, and doesn't want to help you how to do the spiritual fighting, but they're actually envious and worrisome of you, of you learning about your gifts and so on. So yeah, this is the message. Just God didn't want me to talk about it. He just wanted to give me an explanation. He just wanted me to give you the story, the raw story of how it happened to me. And only now I understand why he wanted. So another lesson that I want to include in this video is that this is how God works. Sometimes he just doesn't tell you from the beginning what he wants. He's just going to tell you, do this. And if you don't do it because you think it's stupid, you're never going to know what he wanted with that. But if you do it, then later on, because you listen to him and you've been obedient, then he will reveal to you what was the divine logic behind it. Okay? So, I wish you smooth spiritual journey, and try to go within and talk to God, so you can actually learn about your gifts, so you can get early activation of your gifts, not to wait for too long like I did. Okay, talk to you in the next video.